is dedicated to each and every one of you who appreciate a great glass of wine. You know what I mean?
It's Monday. Let's raise a glass to the beginning of another week. It's time to unscrew, uncork, or saber a bottle. And let's begin exploring the wine glass. Welcome to another episode of Star Winery Reviews, where we explore the quirks, complaints, and candid feedback from wine enthusiasts. Today, we journey to Santa Barbara wine region, a coastal paradise known for its stunning vineyards and diverse varietals. However, not everyone is impressed. One visitor felt unneeded after hearing about the winery's 3,000 members. Another prioritized jogging around a pond over preserving its natural habitat. And while barking dogs are shown the door, screaming kids seem to get a pass. Let's dive into the drama behind the wine. Please take a moment of your time to subscribe, rate, and review Exploring the Wine Glass. It's completely free, and it's a great way to let other wine lovers know about the podcast. Be sure to head over to the website, exploringthewineglass.com, to read my award-winning blog and to see what else I've been up to. And most of all, please tell your friends about the podcast. Slainte.
Oh, no, never let you go.
Hey everybody, I'm Lori Budd, a UC Davis winemaking program, Spanish wine scholar, sommelier service, champagne and Côte d'Aron specialist, and a WSET Level 2 graduate. You can find Exploring the Wine Glass on all the socials, as well as your favorite podcast catchers. If you haven't subscribed yet, now's the perfect time to swipe, subscribe, rate, and review. Stay in the know about all things wine by visiting my website, exploringthewineglass.com. I promise I'll never tell you what to drink, but I'll always share what's in my glass.
You are special, you're very, very special.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the always fun, entertaining Star Winery Reviews. I've got Martha here with me, and we are traveling to Santa Barbara.
I'm so excited that we decided to do that.
Yes.
It's going to be great.
Yes. Do you want to do a little brief intro of who you are before we get into Santa Barbara?
Sure. My name is Martha, and I have a podcast about perimenopause and midlife called My Aloof Vagina. It's a comedy podcast. There's wine involved with the creation of it and the discussion of it, and sometimes with the recording, but really this is where I get to talk about wine more and wineries.
And make fun of people and actions and wait till you hear. So some of these today, we don't have as many reviews today because man, oh man, do people go down and down and write paragraphs about their reviews of Santa Barbara wineries.
Oh, I wonder what that says about the people who go to Santa Barbara to drink wine.
I know. That was what I was curious about too. Is like normally it's brief and, they're just boom, 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 banging it out. These are kind of long. So we can dissect quite a bit here. So, well, for those who don't know, this is literally from ChatGPT. So Santa Barbara is nestled between the Pacific Ocean and the rugged mountains of the California Central Coast. Santa Barbara wine region is one of the most diverse and exciting wine growing areas in the United States, known for its stunning landscapes, cool coastal breezes, and a remarkable range of microclimates. Santa Barbara County produces wines that rival the best in the world, yet it still maintains a laid-back, unpretentious vibe.
That's fun.
Right. And so according to, I guess, Santa Barbara, since ChatGPT scans their website, supports a wide variety of grape varieties. Pinot Noir and Chardonnay thrive in these cooler climates. Syrah and other Rhone varietals shine in warmer zones such as Ballard Canyon and Los Olivos. And you'll also find Cab Sauv, Sauvignon Blanc, Grenache, Riesling, and other Italian and Spanish varieties scattered throughout the region. And Santa Barbara basically takes up Santa Maria Valley, Santa Rita Hills, Ballard Canyon, Los Olivos District, which I absolutely love that little area, and Happy Canyon. So quite a bit of range of where we can visit today. And we are going to start off at a winery that I have not been to in a very, very long time, but we liked it the last few times we were there years ago. So this is Beckman Vineyards. Have you ever heard of it? Been there?
No,
No?
as we were talking about the different areas, I'm realizing I don't know if I even know any Santa Barbara wineries. So this is all going to be fresh for me.
Oh, all right. Okay. So Beckman Vineyards, located at 2670 Ontiveros Road in Los Olivos. They have 4.7 stars with 121 reviews. Their character, their little blurb about themselves. Open daily from 11 to 5. Reservations recommended. Enjoy a wine tasting on our observation decks overlooking the vineyard. Inside our rustic tasting room, or indulge in a private tour and tasting for a more intimate experience. Book a private gazebo for the quintessential picnic where you can savor our wine by the bottle and soak up our vineyard views.
Sounds really nice.
Okay. So the rustic tasting room, it is a big barn, but there's like couches there that you can chill at. There's tables, and then there's like antiques and things. So you can do a little shopping while you're sipping. And it's rustic because it is like a barn, but it's upscale rustic.
Yes, shabby chic.
Yes, yes. All right. So let's see how horrible these people think it is. So Carrie Rodriguez, terrible treatment by staff, and when the manager came, he told us that they have 3,000 members and they don't need us. $35 tastings for their low-end mediocre wines. And if you're a member, you only get free tastings for yourself 4 times a year. There are so many better wines in Los Olivos. Don't waste your time.
Oh, I mean, there's just not much detail on what exactly happened. I'm sure she paraphrased what he said about
I
not
cannot
needing them.
imagine. Hey, bitch, we got 30,000.
We don't need you. I mean, and also it sounds like she might be a member because she's saying you only get one free tasty, like you only get it free for the member. So it almost like this is a disgruntled member. Doesn't it sound like it?
It does. I'm not sure if, maybe she questioned about being a member because, she wanted to be part of, she wanted to be number 3001.
So I think it sounds like so I run a membership organization, and I think that sounds like a disgruntled member, and here is why. You might have a conversation where you're complaining. Perhaps in this case, Carrie was bitching about having to pay $35 for her husband, her mother-in-law or something. And said, well, I should cancel my membership. And maybe in that conversation, it was, well, this works for a lot of people, works for 3,000 people, but I understand. And, if you need to cancel and you know what I mean? Like that,
right.
Cause they're mediocre wine though. That makes you, who would join it?
If it's a
winery they thought it was
just somebody
mediocre.
who's upset, upset at this moment.
Right. When you're mad, even if you liked it before, now it's mediocre.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Carrie, I think you needed to provide more information for us to think you had a 1-star experience.
Yes. Yeah. But I just think they told us we have 3,000 members.
We don't need you.
All right. We don't need you. So I cannot imagine those words coming out. I can imagine the 3,000 members coming out.
Yes.
But we don't need you is a little, I think Carrie, I think you're right. I think Carrie is paraphrasing, taking large liberties.
She's inferring from them not jumping to her request. I will tell you, there might be people who would say that about us because to avoid turning people down, we have application by invitation only.
Oh,
and that
okay.
is all to make it easier for me, us, and the team, because I have to run it through this group, to not have to go back to someone who's applied and say, oh, I'm so sorry you're not approved. So we just say, we imply that there's a wait list.
Right. Okay.
Right. So someone who wanted to be a member who maybe I had, for whatever reason, determined wouldn't be a good addition to the community, they could tell people, well, I mean, they said we have plenty of members. We don't need you. Right. Which is kind of what you're saying when you don't invite someone to apply.
Right.
I mean, I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. I
It's
don't know.
a polite way of doing it, but I don't know. I would have to say, without further information, I would have to side with the winery.
Winery. Yeah. I think Carrie got her ruffles up in a dander and isn't exactly explaining the whole thing, which makes me think something else.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So we got winery one. All right. Alexander Gordon. We purchased 5 tastings and 3 bottles of wine. We were not offered any membership option by a server. Also, after receiving my negative feedback, a tasting room manager has replied describing potential benefits of my future visit and not a solution to fixing my recent experience. So I'm baffled.
Well, maybe they really are just kind of sizing people up on the spot and deciding they don't need them as members.
Remember, I. But then he says that somebody reached back out to describe my potential benefits. So that makes me think that he complained, somebody reached back out and said, oh, well, if you're interested in the club, blah, 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 here's what we do. And not a solution to fixing my recent experience. But that is what his recent experience complaint is that he wasn't offered a club membership. And so as a winery, when you go to marketing, they're always like, always talk about the club, always offer the club. People want to know about the club, right? I don't really think that's true. I don't think everybody wants to hear about the club. And there are times where I make the decision not to mention the club because, I mean, first of all, when we hand them their tasting sheet, there is information about the club. So it's there if they want to look at it. But if somebody comes in and they bought 5 tastings, so that's 5 people, and they only bought 3 bottles, I might not ask them about the club because that's not even a bottle a person.
Yeah.
So
right. They may not even be interested. And listen, there are lots of wineries I've spent time with that I'm not going to join, even if I like the wine. How many memberships can I have?
Right.
And so I don't like to be sold to all the time for something when I'm coming for a different product. I'm basically coming as a customer for one product.
Right.
And you're offering this enhancement.
Right.
I don't always want to be upsold. Right.
And I do know, like I said, the marketing, they're always like, just put it out there. Some people do get upset if they're not asked to join the membership, which is what Alexander seems to be upset about, is that he was not asked about the membership. But on the other side, maybe those 3 bottles he bought were all of the same. Maybe they bought 3 rosés. Right.
Yeah.
And I don't know. Like, I don't know. But then he's upset that they called to talk about the benefits, but not fixing the recent experience. You can't undo the fact that you weren't asked about the club, but the person did read it and called and then offered you the club. Isn't that fixing it?
If I had a winery and I had marketing guidance to invite every single person, I would put it on the tasting sheet and I might have the receipt print out saying, have you looked at our club? Right. Or we'd love to have you in our club if I could accept more people.
Right.
But I would not ask each individual. I would hope that invitation would be enough for them to feel invited.
Mm-hmm. So I'm not feeling Alexander either.
No. Sorry, winery 2.
Yep.
Winery 2, customer
0. All right, here we go. Here is somebody who was not happy. This is CC. Okay. C. How to lose longtime customers and brand advocates in a general discouraged business in 5 easy steps. Ooh. Number 1, gazebos, which used to be free to choose, charge $10 a person and a 3-bottle wine purchase minimum. Insane. Number 2, require reservations. Lose it. It ruins the spontaneous experience of wine tasting. Why should we have to structure our wine tastings in the area into time slots with reservations and confirmation? It's a wine tasting. It's supposed to be fun and neutral, not a business meeting that requires advanced research, planning, and confirmations to attend. Be progressive by encouraging walk-ins. 3, charge $28 per person for a tasting. Excessive! Exclamation point. $28 for what was described as about a glass of wine in total. So now wine is $28 a glass? Ridiculous. 4, refusing to allow sitting on the lawn around the pond to enjoy Beckman wine or to picnic with Beckman wine. Short-sighted! Exclamation point. Obvious tactic to encourage gazebo reservations and excessive bottle purchase requirements. This used to be an enjoyable alternative to congregating in the tasting room or sitting in the gazebos. Why have spacious grounds if no one can enjoy them? 5, not permitting bottle purchases to be opened and consumed on the patio outside what used to be the tasting room. Foolish! Exclamation point. So now the large multi-level patio is only for the $28 wine tastings? Question mark? Really? Question mark?
Oh my. Well,
BC has done the research.
yeah, I feel like those are valid complaints if those are policies that are not going to work for her, but they have 3,000 members. And I think they probably have plenty of business. And you do have to figure out how to structure it so that as many people as possible can enjoy the grounds and the tasting room, and you can staff appropriately. I mean, all of those things, I guess they'd be upsetting if you've been going a long time and they were changes and people don't like change, but none of those seem like egregious requirements to me.
Right. So
I mean,
I'm
I
going to
do
break
think
these
$10
down.
a person seems high. Yeah, you go through it. But
So the gazebo, $10 a person and a 3-bottle wine purchase. Okay, $10 a person bothers me. Just do $20. Right?
right.
To me, the $10 a person is equivalent to a hotel that charges $25 cleaning fee for your dog every night. You are
Yeah.
not cleaning my room every night for the dog, right? So,
Yeah.
and I don't even really believe they do anything different anyway. But I mean, if you have a dog in a hotel, they're not even cleaning your room 99% of the time that you're there. So I understand an additional cleaning fee because, they need to get rid of the dog hair or something like that. But every night is ridiculous. So $10 a person, I think, is a little insane. Just charge $20 to reserve. That's the reservation fee for a gazebo. I don't know how many gazebos they have, but I'm sure the last time I was there, it's very open. And she talked about the ground space. So on a hot day, you may want a gazebo. I understand,
Yeah.
like reserving a cabana on the beach. You reserve the cabana, right?
How many people fit in the gazebo?
I don't know. But a
Oh, I
three
didn't know if you
bottle wine
remembered.
purchase makes me think that it holds a lot of people.
Yeah.
'Cause-
Or you don't remember seeing them at a
No, I
large?
don't. No.
Yeah, because the thing is, a three bottle wine purchase doesn't mean you have to buy it and open it there.
Right.
So, um,
So I think they're double
yeah,
dipping. I think they're double dipping.
yeah, like a
You know,
minimum and
yeah. If I'm charging per person for the gazebo, fine. But now you're doing a 3-bottle minimum. I think that's double dipping. So I'm pro CC on this one,
on the first part.
on the
Yeah.
first part. Okay. Reservations, lose it. Be progressive, encourage walk-ins. We accept walk-ins. 90% of our customer base are walk-ins, but that's because we're downtown.
Yeah.
And I don't have employees. It's me. So I understand the concept of reservations. If they're out there. They want to know about how many people they need to have on staff for that.
Absolutely.
And she doesn't say how many people she's with. So maybe it's reservations for 6 or more
I mean, well, these are the 5 steps for losing your loyal
loyal
customers. So
customers. Right.
she probably is thinking more in general.
General.
You should never require reservations. Be
Yes.
progressive.
Be progressive.
Encourage walk-ins. I mean, it's not that you want to discourage walk-ins, but encouraging reservations is the way to go. And then accepting walk-ins.
Walk-ins. Right.
Not encouraging walk-ins.
Walk-ins.
How are you going to manage that business?
Right. Right. All right. Charging $28 per person to taste. Excessive. I need a little more information.
How many glasses?
Right. How many
Right.
wines are being poured? I need more information on that one. And 28, I can see how that's considered high. But do they refund it if you buy a bottle? Do they, are you tasting 6 wines? Now she's saying it's equivalent to 1 glass of wine. So my guess is it's five wines.
If she thinks 5 ounces, because some people think a glass of wine is 12 or 9, right? The restaurants that I go to, they have 6, 9, and 12.
Oh,
right. So I don't know. We don't know what size glass she is. And also, often my glasses of wine do cost $28 by the glass if I'm buying them
right.
away from home, especially if it's not a 6 ounce.
Right.
If it's a 9 ounce.
Yes. Right. All right. Number 4. This one I'm with CC. Refusing to allow sitting on the lawn around the pond to enjoy Beckman wine or to picnic with Beckman wine. Why can I not sit on the grass if I'm enjoying your wine? Like,
I've never been to the place, so I can't picture it. I'm just curious because later she complains about the patio.
right.
And to me, I'm inferring from what Cece wrote, that she expects to have free reign of the grounds and free reign of the whole place.
Right.
I almost said a bad word there, but the whole place because she bought some wine or because
Right.
she's present. And I think it's completely within their rights to, I would, unless it's a very tiny space, I'd be shocked if their patio is only for tastings. I'm sure it's just wine purchased to open. Because at least the wineries I've been to, there's sometimes different prices for what they're going to serve.
Right.
Right.
Do you want
And
a
then you
reserve
also-
flight? Do you want a regular flight, a white flight, a red flight?
But even if they're going to serve you a glass,
Oh.
or you're like, we're going to buy a bottle and drink it here, they bring glassware, there's a server, right? So that's not the same as taking your bottle out of the bag and then flagging someone down and saying, do you have any glasses?
Glasses.
Right. And so I would be curious more about what is the patio really used for? Is it just used for tastings, or is that also where they serve lunch? Like, what's going on there that
Yeah.
you can't just plop down? That's not surprising to me.
Right.
But if you're not letting them plop down at the patio and you're not letting them plop down at the gazebos anymore,
And not on the
are they not
ground,
letting
where
you
do you
plop
expect
down
them
anywhere?
to do?
Yeah,
Right.
exactly.
Right. Where do you
So
expect
maybe
them
they're
to
not
be?
trying to be a place where you open your wine, you buy and enjoy it there.
Okay.
Because some wineries don't.
Right. Some wineries just want you in and out, kind of purchase and leave.
Or hang out at the restaurant, buy food, tip their
right.
servers.
Right. And so now this one is not permitting bottle purchases to be opened and consumed on the patio outside. Foolish. So this is sounds like they do not want you consuming wine. But then unless you're in the gazebo, but maybe those 3-bottle wine purchase, like you said, you're not opening them. Maybe they don't want you opening wine on their, at their thing.
Yeah. I mean, I think we'd have to go check it out.
Yeah.
You know how they have those restaurant, I don't watch them, but like reality shows where someone comes in and revamps your restaurant?
Yes. Yes.
Like it's basically consultants.
Right.
Maybe they had a hospitality consultant and, take a look at their business model and said, you are losing money every year. You
right.
need
Because
to do
somebody
this,
is
this,
just
and this.
buying a bottle of wine and
Bringing their food from home.
Right. Right. And sitting there all day, taking up space for 1 bottle of wine.
Yes.
Could be because it sounds
like a wholesale policy change. It sounds like
Yeah.
they changed a lot of policies at once as far as this woman is concerned, and maybe
Right.
CC, hasn't been there in a while. I don't know, but those all sound to me like policies you put in place to get your business contained and profitable.
And great segue to the owner response.
Oh, I love it. I love an owner response.
I'm sorry that you were disappointed by your visit to Beckman Vineyards. Our policies might not suit you, but they are there to make sure that we can accommodate as many customers as possible and stay in business. We only have 3 gazebos, charging a fee for non-members to drink in one of the area's prettiest, most relaxing settings is one way that we keep some availability for our hundreds of local members whom enjoy the space free of charge. The charge also goes out to be maintain the grounds and keep the ponds beautiful. Part of that preservation effort means not allowing visitors to drink and sit by the pond. So they have a reason. I suppose our ponds are meant to be enjoyed as scenery, as a habitat for our turtles, not you.
Yeah. He didn't say not you, did he?
Not people, not people.
Oh, not people. Because if he said not you, I'd say maybe he really did say we don't need you as a member.
No, not for people. We're taking care of the turtles, not the people. Tasting area also is in high demand. We do prefer to prioritize space for visitors who want to explore our range of wine and enjoy the tasting rather than those that are looking to savor a bottle. If we allowed guests to enjoy bottles on the deck, we would not, due to the limited space, we would not be able to help all of the people, basically. And then the price of the tasting flight, it's consistent with the quality of our wine and competitive to our neighbors. Check out Yelp. Most of our visitors seem to agree with us. So there is a bit of attitude there, but I like it. I like the attitude there.
Listen, I think what that owner is demonstrating is that we are aligned. I love that I don't see this. I don't see these in advance. And I don't know. So to know that my winery supportive point of view, my business focused point of view is like, yeah, that's why they're doing it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Come on. They're not just, it's not a public park.
Right. Now, I will say that I do believe that you did used to be able to hang out on the grounds, because I remember kind of picnic benches, not that you could just plop yourself down. But again, it's been a long time since we were there. But you know what? If there's turtles, if there's turtles there and there's actual wildlife in there, if you allow people to be there, that is not going, those turtles and that wildlife are going to die out because people suck. They're gonna let's
right
feed.
around the pond. There's the space right around a pond like that is kind of, I mean, technically it's wetlands, right? Like it is sensitive to things like that, and people trampling around and leaving trash or whatever. So
it's
that's
kind of
what's
equivalent
here.
It's kind of equivalent to we went to Stonehenge and we were reading reviews of Stonehenge, and somebody gave it a 1-star review because they couldn't touch the stones.
Right. Yes.
Come on, people.
Exactly.
Right. All right.
So I'm winery this time.
I am winery. Yeah.
So 3 for 3.
Yeah.
Okay,
see, and the gazebos, you've got 3 gazebos and they're free if you're a club member. So I get it. I still kind of think double dipping. I still would prefer just a single fee, not per person, because then you're renting the gazebo. And I wonder if there's a minimum amount of people. But if you just, all right, I'll pay $10 or I'll pay $20 and me and my buddy are going to hang out in the gazebo all day, is not doing what it's intended to do. So I still like, you don't pay per person at a cabana, you pay for the cabana,
But what I think now, I really sound like a Beckman apologist. I think, but their purpose is to make sure there's space for their members to use when they come in, and they're local. And so it could have started out as $10 seat fee, and it was still all filled. And the members come and say, I can never get in the cabana. They're like, we got to up it a little bit, make it a little more expensive somehow, so that, we can justify turning our members away. Right. So.
Yeah. I still think it should be a single price, but
if they did $25 a person or $50 for the cabana, and or 60, and then I was getting to 100. Like it's people are like,
Right.
that's outrageous.
Outrageous. Right.
So this is maybe a little more of a,
Sounds a little more appealing. Yeah.
I don't know, that you get something for it. You're not just paying this high rent.
Right. All right.
But
Nikki V.
oh,
It's unfortunate in this day to continue to find businesses that discriminate against certain types of customers. It's sad and unfortunate. They will never receive my business and shouldn't have yours. Will I do support the decision? Three
poor
does.
typos. She was angry on the phone. She didn't even proofread.
She was stuttering. She was talking to it and
She was
stuttering.
so mad that she, yeah.
Decision to choose where your revenue and sales come from, I must conclude that the owners have so much money that they can solely support their operations and staff to full capacity without the need for wine sales. Guess she's got intel on their bank accounts. Best
I'm
of
trying
luck
to find out
to
what the
you.
discrimination was.
Yeah, yes. There are many incredible wineries in the valley. This one is nothing special. Choose a different one. You will miss absolutely nothing. Cheers.
Okay, so Nikki V. We don't know because there's not the specifics, but this sounds to me like something where I don't mean to slander her, but Nikki V calls the winery and says, "Oh, we're having a Santa Barbara, Save the Library party, or we're having a Santa Barbara, um, you know, crafting fair, and we'd like to buy, at wholesale,
Yeah, right.
6 cases of your wine to get, or we want it,
Donate.
and it'll give you exposure."
Right.
Like, because it sounds like she's thinking they didn't let her buy something.
Right.
Because she said they don't need to sell wine to make money. And I'm like, what's the story, Nikki? Obviously let people buy wine because they make people buy wine to sit in their cabanas.
Gazebo, right.
Or their gazebos. I'm thinking cabana
because I kept calling it cabana.
Yeah. And I'm thinking, we got to make some reservations for those cabanas before they get full. I already made a mental note for when we hang up.
And now, a word from our sponsor. Did you know that Dracaena Wines has a wine club? We named it the Chalk Club. Draco is on our label, but Vegas was getting a bit jealous, so we decided he deserved to be our wine club spokesdog. In Las Vegas, betting chalk means that you are betting on all of the favorites, and we're gambling that once you taste our wines, we will become one of your favorite wineries. The club is simple, yet a bit different than most. We don't ask for a lot of commitment like others do. Choose between 3 tiers, the Sweet 16, where you will receive 3 bottles twice a year and get 15% off all orders. Sign up for the Elite 8 and get 20% off all orders and receive 4 bottles twice a year, or make it to the Final 4 and receive 6 bottles twice a year, as well as receiving 25% off purchases. All tiers receive discounted shipping, are customizable, and are eligible for unlimited referral bonuses. Add $15 to the bank for each person you refer. Head to www.dracaenawines.com to use the link in the show notes to find out all the Chalk Club has to offer and to sign up. We've stocked the odds so that you can get our award-winning wines without breaking the bank.
They have a response.
Oh, yay.
Okay. And I'm just going with Beckman. So we appreciate that you visit our vineyard and took the time to provide feedback. I spoke with our manager about your experience. It is our goal to create the most inclusive environment possible, so we have certain policies in place to protect the atmosphere here and to make the guests feel safe. We are a working winery facility with 2 vineyard ponds, so this policy is designed to ensure safety and tranquility for all guests. She's leading up. You can tell she's leading up. Okay. Your group consisted of 4 adults and 8 children. Our maximum tasting size is 6 people, and children are welcome, but we ask that they remain seated or accompanied by adults at all times. We wanted to share our wines with you and had tables available, but since you wouldn't follow our safety policy, we unfortunately had to ask you to leave. We welcome you back the next time you're in Los Olivos. We'd love to sell you wine. 8 kids running around the pond, throwing rocks at the turtles. That's what I envision.
With 4 adults
with four adults who are
Trying to
not
get
at all.
their large glasses.
Yes.
$28. Fill it up.
Yep. Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Yes. I love that you check it out. Oh, as the
I
owner,
love it
she's
when
reading
people-
this review
Yeah.
and she's like, I'm going to go check. Oh, well, yeah.
She goes to the staff and says, "Tell me what happened with Nikki V."
Right.
And they're like, "Let's look and see if we can find, you know, um,
Yeah.
it-
8
I-
children, 4 adults. Those kids were running around like lunatics.
Of course. And then also, how dare you write a review where you leave out the details
Right. And so,
and imply discrimination? She's
right.
implying discrimination.
Discrimination.
I was waiting for the discrimination to come up.
certain types of customers. I'm
You
thinking,
mean parents?
yeah, I'm thinking it's a skin color thing or a
too.
special need,
They didn't have a handicap ramp.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You just had 8 kids running around. Pro Beckman.
Yes. So four for the winery.
Yes. All right. This last one for Beckman, man, these people, we've got 5 reasons why Beckman is bad. Our
Oh.
experience, this is Tay A. Our experience at this vineyard was horrible. They do not have restrooms. We paid $50 to reserve their gazebo and were shocked when we saw portable toilets. Okay, you're in a vineyard, but maybe something was going on because they
Yeah.
have bathrooms. Or maybe they have bathrooms inside, and because you're out by the gazebo, you might not be right by the winery, and they're there to help
Yeah.
people. Okay. But number 2, they sell white wine, but do not have ice buckets to keep wines chilled. Another shocking experience was our server brought a bucket with a couple ice packs in it. Ice packs. Okay. You just said they don't have buckets, but they brought buckets. And I'm sorry, ice pack. What I'm envisioning are those things that you keep in the freezer and you wrap it around. And you know what? They're sustainably farmed. That may have to do with a water thing.
Yes.
Instead
and
of
also, it's
continually
a
making
barn.
ice. Right.
They're in a barn.
Barn.
Like
Yeah.
they don't need ice unless they have a restaurant that they need ice for.
Right. Right. And they have buckets, but you said they don't have buckets. And then I am envisioning the thing that wraps around
Even
the
if it
bottle.
were other ice packs around it, it's
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah.
You want it to be chilled, right?
Right. Right. We got you. You're
or
chilled.
remain chilled
Remain
because you're
chilled.
drinking it slowly. 4
Right.
people.
Right. 4 people,
Or
1
5
glass of wine.
It was 5 people. 5 people, and they can't drink a bottle of white wine
Wine.
quickly enough for it to still be cold.
Yeah, that
Amateurs.
baby's gone. Yeah, right. Suck it up.
Send it.
All right. Number 3. In total, we ordered 5 bottles and did not get any information about the wine. They don't tell you anything about the flavor profile, varietals, what to expect. We didn't even get a small taste before ordering. Well, I need more information. If you went in and you said, I'm going to order this bottle, this bottle, this bottle, this bottle, they're probably thinking you already know about the wines and here's your bottles.
Yeah, because you didn't go in for a tasting, which is when they
Right.
would talk about the varietals and do all
Right.
that kind of stuff. Give you a taste. It's called a tasting.
A tasting. Number 4, staff seemed pretty annoyed and not welcoming from the moment we stepped into this place.
Mm.
I need more information.
Yeah.
And number 5, we got glasses that are in different sizes. Our friend ended up getting a clearly smaller glass than ours, which was another disappointment because we were all sharing. At that point, we didn't even care to ask for a new one.
I'm silent. I'm.
Yeah.
The good news is don't come back.
Yeah.
This is not the place for you.
And so if it was a smaller glass, just when she or he finishes his glass, pour him more. My God. Pour yourselves each what's equal to a glass, pour theirs, and then give them the leftover bottle so they can refill it.
my friends and I would make a joke out of it. Like it would be like tiny glass all weekend.
Yeah.
Hey, you gonna sit over there, tiny glass? Like
Yes.
it wouldn't be something we complained about on Yelp.
Yeah. Yeah.
We'd be like, oh, she had 3 glasses. Right? We would be making fun of it. In a good natured with each other.
Right. Yeah. I don't know. No, I don't have a response back for this one. I think they just were like, peace out.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah. So 5, I'm Beckman again.
We
So
are
I'm
all
5 for Beckman.
Yep. We are all Beckman.
Now
All
in
Beckman.
fact, these reviews have backfired because now I want to go to Beckman.
See?
Sounds great.
Yeah. All right. Vega Vineyard and Farm, 9496 Santa Rosa Road. Now we're in Buellton. 4.9 stars with 131 reviews. So pretty darn decent. And I love Buellton. It's such a cute little town. All right. According to them, not a lot about themselves. Winery and bar serving lunch, weekend brunch, and dinner with live music and farm animals. That's pretty straightforward.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. Jenna has a lot to say.
Okay.
Okay. Jenna S. Asterisk, asterisk, all capitals, not dog friendly. Asterisk, asterisk.
Wait,
Okay.
but they have like a petting zoo or something,
Yeah.
right?
Although I will say, without going into that, sometimes when there is a petting zoo, they don't allow dogs.
Yeah, that's
because
what I
they
mean.
rile up. Yeah, they rile up the animals.
Right. So I
Right.
would think, I would assume if someone had a petting zoo that I wouldn't bring a dog.
Right. Okay. So here we go. First sentence. A large group of us visited. You know you're in trouble. A large group of us visited Vega yesterday. I brought my dog, as I do every time I go wine tasting. We were waiting for our food when my dog barked quietly from under the table where he was lying down once, and a waitress came over and said they recently changed their policies, and if he barked again, I would need to leave him in the car. Anyone who has pets knows to never leave them in a car alone, and her suggestion was ridiculous and angered me. All of us were taken aback by this because most of our group didn't even notice the bark over the restaurant noise. Children were running around screaming on the grass nearby, but my dog was singled out. I'm a dog mom. Kill the kids, keep the dog, right? That's basically what she's
Right,
saying,
yeah.
right? And she got a warning, right?
Yeah.
Dogs aren't allowed to bark. And I'm going to say it probably wasn't one bark, but
I'm sure it wasn't. And of course, it's hard to keep a dog from barking. But if there were
Right.
kids running around outside and there was a petting zoo nearby, I imagine
dog's
the
gonna
dog
bark.
could get excitable. Yeah.
right, right. When our waitress came back and I asked to cancel our order, I explained what happened and she was surprised and apologetic. She had a manager come over who apologized for the way the waitress handled it. So I'm
2 waitresses?
confused. Yeah.
Yeah. Two waitresses.
Okay. She said it was her second day, but their policy is to kick dogs out who bark. I would completely understand if my dog had been barking constantly, and I would have removed him from the situation had that been the case. She offered ways to make up for it, but with the threat hanging out over my experience was ruined. It's a day later, and I'm still upset with how it was handled. Not 5 minutes prior to the warning, another employee was giving my dog belly rubs, which he happily and quietly accepted.
I think that the belly rubs alone reinforce that they're not a dog hating place.
Right.
They just have to have some standard. And, these kinds of rules happen because sometimes we can't have nice things.
Right.
Like these rules happen because there are incidents. It disrupts other people's experiences. It's why some places have no kids rules, right?
Right.
Someone ruins it for everyone.
Right. Yeah.
And so that waitress number 1 was warning her that if he starts barking, you won't be able to stay.
Right.
I much prefer that than let him bark a few times and say, 4th bark. That's it.
That's it.
You're
Right.
out.
Right. I'm not seeing anything wrong here of how it was handled. Okay.
Yeah.
She then continues to say, I told the manager we did not want the food my boyfriend and I ordered, and the rest of our group was going to eat and leave. She said she would box it up so it wasn't wasted, and we left to wait for the rest of our party in the parking lot. Well, you chose to do that. Like you weren't evicted. I, heck,
Yeah,
you
she's
would,
leaving someone out because that dog probably kept barking,
absolutely, absolutely.
right?
But even with that, the
They didn't kick her out.
manager is like, okay, what can I do to help this? Right.
Yeah.
So you would think a vineyard that has farm animals as an attraction would be understanding that dogs bark, but that was not the case here. They are much more okay with screaming kids disrupting patrons than a single dog bark. She is very anti-child.
Her dog is her child,
Yes.
which is, I had a lot of friends
Which is
too. That's his
fine.
case. Yeah.
Which is
Totally fair.
fine, but you got to be realistic.
Yeah.
Okay? But I still don't understand what she's angry about. The one waitress said, if he barks again, you're going to have to put him in the car. That it wasn't put the dog in the car. It wasn't get the hell out of here. It was like, I'm not understanding why she's all fired up. Okay. We did end up eating our food later in the day. The butter cake was overly sweet and the flourless chocolate cake was just okay. You ate it 5 hours later. Okay.
And you took it to go by choice just to make a point.
Right. Overall, while I appreciate the manager's gesture to comp what was ordered, I would have much rather had a pleasant experience that I paid for. I
mean, listen, is that all she had to say, or did Tay go farther?
No, that's it. She rather, instead of being comped because you were told your dog barked and you may have to leave, you don't want anything and you rather pay for it. I don't know what else could have been done.
The way that she describes it too, and the way she reacts at every step makes me think that the server could have said, hey, I'm so sorry, we're not permitted to, we don't permit dogs that bark in here. So if your dog keeps barking, you won't be able to have him here. And Tay probably was like, and I imagine the scenario, right? She's like, what do you want me to do? Put him in the car?
Yeah.
Right? What am I supposed to do with him? Put him in the car? Right?
Yep.
I don't imagine the waitress said, hey, if your dog barks again, put him in the car.
Yeah. I don't know.
And then Tay, like, out of bitterness and, I don't know, revenge, didn't eat the dessert for hours.
Right.
Come on.
And you were offered to comp it.
No, they comped it.
Yeah.
They did comp it.
Yeah. You're offered, you got told your dog can't bark. You got free food. You chose to have them box it up instead of just enjoying it there. And you're still complaining. Well,
and I don't want to be a jerk, and I'm not saying you should leave a dog in a hot car, but I would want more details. Like, how hot was it? And if the dog barked a third time, could your boyfriend go out? Right.
Take him for a walk.
Take him for a walk. Or could you take him out to the car for the 10 minutes it's going to take you to finish your butter cake?
Right.
Like with the windows open. Like, if it was really hot, of course, no. But I mean, dramatic response because she feels targeted and because those filthy kids are
running, laughing around, and my poor dog just barked.
He can't bark. They can scream, but he can't bark. Oh, Tay.
All right. Well, we have a response.
Oh, awesome.
If this was me, I would say, what the F do you want from me? I comped your food. I apologized. I didn't tell you to put your dog in a car. Right. I don't know what else you want. But they were nicer.
Yes, very nice.
So owner responds, hi, Jenna. I am so sorry this is the way you felt while dining with us. We are very dog friendly and love when dogs visit our property. However, it is important for us to respect all of our guests' experience and time while dining with us, and barking dogs can be disturbance. One of our managers was trying to communicate that if the dog continued to bark, that they would not be permitted to stay. I apologize if the suggestion of going to the car was offensive. Of course, we always want the animals to stay safe and cared for. Another option was that you could take your dog on a walk around our beautiful property or down to Pop's to Pop's place, which I don't know what that is, where the
Yeah.
barking is less intrusive. I assure you that both you and your dog are welcome at Vega, and we hope you return. Have
That's
a
so
wonderful
nice.
day. Yeah, it was so much nicer than what I would have.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you were not put into, although she did say suggestion of going to the car was offensive. So maybe it was
Maybe
stated.
it's maybe they said you want to take her for a walk. Do you guys want to move down to Pops? Maybe Pops is
Right.
another building out in their space
Base.
that's more casual and
Well,
outdoor or
yeah.
something.
Yeah. Yeah. All right.
It's she didn't want to. She wanted to focus on the one that would make other pet parents go and
Right.
clutch their pearls. Put the
Yes.
dog in the
Put the
car.
dog in the car? Never. Damn those children. Put them in the car with the windows up. All right. We're going to end it with Marissa Sasson.
Okay, Marissa.
Okay. The animals look neglected. Very dirty place. The animals are treated very badly. I wish I could say something else, but I was disgusted from the situation of the animals over there.
Oh my.
Okay, that's,
I mean, if they are badly treated, that's yes.
yeah,
I
but
mean,
uh,
I would think if that were the case, that they wouldn't have the 4.9 with all those positive reviews. I think a lot of people would be disturbed by animals not well taken care of.
right. Yes. Yes.
But maybe she's never been around actual farm animals in real life.
And yeah, I don't, the very dirty place, the animals are treated badly. I wish I could say something else. Yes, please do.
Yeah, tell us.
Please do.
What?
Why
Were
did they
they
look
mangy?
neglected? Yeah. Yeah. Were they falling over and, were
Was there poop in their pens?
Yeah.
I mean, farm animals, they often have dirt on them because they're animals who like
and they roll in the dirt. Yeah.
roll in the dirt, they nose around. But I'd want to know, like, was the water dirty in their, I don't know.
Yeah.
Give us details.
Yeah.
And,
So
and it's suspect because it's not like a common refrain. People aren't saying, and by the way, the animals are
right.
filthy.
Right. This seems to be the only one that talks about it. But yeah, I'm when you say something like that and you're accusing animal cruelty, basically.
Yeah.
I think you need to be a little bit more elaborate. And you know what, Marissa, if they are neglected, then I'm all with you because you got to take care of these animals.
Of course.
But it would have been nice if you stated a little bit more, or I don't know, put a picture up there.
Yeah. So that's a draw. I don't know. I would need more information to know.
Yes, I agree with that. I'm all for protecting the animals, but I need a little bit more information.
For sure.
So, yeah.
So how was the wine? I want to ask her, like, did you not have the wine because you saw the animals? You said, let's get out of here.
Yeah. Absolutely nothing about about wine. That's the whole response.
And if the animals are mistreated, I don't know if that's for a Yelp review. I think I would call the local authorities.
Exactly.
I really believe that.
Yeah. I agree. But so we'll give you the benefit of the doubt because we want the animals to be treated well.
Absolutely.
So, well, that is another episode of One Star Winery Reviews. These were very elaborate reviews, more thought out than whether or not we agree with them, more thought out than our normal 1-star reviews.
Yes, and most of them had more detail, so you can actually identify where they're. I think it's easier to take a stand when or on our end for our voting. 5 for Beckham. When we get that kind of detail, because the detail also helps you assess whether it matters to you, even as a consumer.
Right?
Like, do you care if you have to pay for the
gazebo?
It's not a cabana. The gazebo. Mexico calls. Do you care if you can't picnic? Do you understand the dangers with the turtles? Like all of those things are factors that I think these were useful reviews. Most of them were useful.
Yes.
Even if I didn't agree with them, they were useful. They gave the information and helped me assess why they gave them a 1 star.
Right. Which is what we talked about last episode was, these are just reviews. They mean absolutely nothing, but we're looking more for this helps us. Do we want to go or not want to go? Just the bum, 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 thumbing out how angry you are is not exactly a helpful review. These the yeah. So I agree. These we may not agree with them. We
Sure.
may be pro winery on these, but yeah, they went in depth.
Yeah, they were useful. Hey, are we going to do Santa Barbara again next time? Because I bet
Yes,
there are a
we
ton.
are.
Oh, I'm so excited.
Yes.
I feel like I can plan a trip after this. So now
Oh,
I already
yeah.
have Beckham on my list. I don't know enough
Yes.
about Vega, and I'm not really into petting zoos, so I probably skip Vega.
Yeah, I might
with or
have to
without a
take
pet.
some of these off because Vega had a lot of reviews. So I have like 12 left for Vega.
Oh my gosh.
But
Maybe go
maybe I
someplace
will.
else.
Yeah, maybe I'll cut some of those out. And I just got blown away by how long people like Santa
Yeah.
Barbara people were like legit. I'm going to tell you what's going on. But I'll go through and I'll pull some of them out, and we'll go to I also have Babcock. So I
Oh,
have
yeah,
two.
I can't wait.
I have two
Yeah.
wineries. So
Perfect.
yeah. So we
Awesome.
did 1.5 today. We'll do 2 on the next one. So
Excellent.
all right. Well, until next time, hopefully no more 1-star reviews that we have to write. And because it's very rare I write a 1-star review, but
Yes, almost never.
yes. All right. Until next time, I don't have anything in my hand, but Slainte.
You are so special, even in the Bible.
This has been another episode of Exploring the Wine Glass. Thanks for listening. If you have suggestions on what topics you would like me to discuss, please reach out on social media. You can find me on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook as Exploring the Wine Glass. I am also on LinkedIn as Lori Hoyt Budd. Of course, you can always email me at exploringthewineglass@gmail.com and sign up for my newsletter at exploringthewineglass.com. If you enjoyed what you heard, please rate, review, and subscribe to help others find me more easily. And most importantly, tell your wine-loving friends, because if you like the podcast, they will too. Podcast music is Wine by Kevins. Until next week, Slainte.
I want a nice glass right now. I'm on keeping for my 10 town, tell you. There is always time for a good glass of wine. No. Oh, no. Never let you go. No. Never let you go. I want a nice glass right now.